Been a while that I streamed. Just wanted to show where I was at programming. So we're still working on the foot collision without using physics, and I've got issues with the with that. So we're able to change sides now. We've got rotation. Okay, and the moment that we're changing sides, the feet are placed on the first bytes, approximately. You know where the character is supposed to stand. So it's supposed to be able to be changing all sides correctly, but we've got issues, and the issues are that at some point the character is losing ground. You know, he starts to be extended way too much over the voxels, and the feet are not even touching the ground anymore. Okay, except for that, yeah, this is my first. I would say this is an experimental thing, but my first working uh, experiment of this in Unity. But we're not going up and down hills yet. So right now the gravity on this side, makes that the character would be supposed to be able to go down the hill here, but the character cannot yet. Okay, keeps the same height. Oops, and can't. Sorry about that. So we can't go backwards yet to change sides. That's something that I'm gonna fix. So we got to go forward. If I go backwards, it's gonna break the whole thing here. So we have to go forward to change sides. So that's something that I'm gonna change very soon. So again, the feet are touching the ground right now, but the more that I would be testing, at some point we're just gonna lose ground. So I thought I had fixed it yesterday. Plenty of things I had changed, but and sometimes we change sides, and the character is just not correctly assigned to any gravity or something, and he goes and leaves the planet. that's another bug. Not super hot, but except for that, it kind of works. If you're sticking to the ground, it's something we can change also. To lerp from the last position to the new position, and make 1 feet slower. Oh, see, look, it's done already. Didn't even notice when, my last pass here, and the feet are not even touching anymore. Well, they're like barely over, and it's just gonna get worse, or it's gonna get back to normal. I don't even know why. Well, no, it doesn't. It's not fixed. It's not fixed. It's probably just gonna get worse at some point, or it's gonna get back to normal. See, got back to normal. Approximately back to normal. Okay, so that's something that I have to fix, because it just can get worse after that. Sometimes the character is not even aligned with the plane, and he's gonna go up, and start leaving the planet as I walk forward on that plane. That's also something that I need to fix. Kind of 3 bugs right now. The foot not touching the ground at some point, and the character leaving the planet when I swap sides, because he's not correctly assigned to any gravity or something. And the 3rd bug, well, going in on a plane, but the rotation of the character is like misaligned just a little bit, and the character is just gonna seem as if he goes up a hill when there's actually nothing. He's just leaving the planet. Okay, so pretty cool. But yeah, so the next thing would be after I fix those bugs, so that we're able to go up and down hills depending on the gravity. Okay, so normally when I'm on this side, I should be able to go a little bit down before the gravity is swapped. And if the gravity is swapped, then I would be standing up in that, hole, up that way. So, and I would be in the hole. So, yeah. Oh, see, the foot are again. Now they're not touching the ground. See, so you notice the bug here they're talking about. Don't even know what the hell's going on. Now he's okay, now their character is kind of back to normal. That's weird, right? Don't want that to happen ever. So except for that, well, the rest is always is still working. Talking about the hand targets, inverse kinematics for the end targets. Okay, here. The elbow, we can't really move anything because I removed the visual of it, so I might re-add the visual later. Okay. So, yeah, so it works. Okay. The inverse kinematics is staying in place. Okay. But oh, see again, we lost ground a little bit. So yeah. So that's where I am at. Okay, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. But still filling. Okay. Still filling. Oops. So last character here, right? Yeah. Went too fast. Oh. So that's a problem also, because we're not LARPing the position, last position with the new position, so because we're not LARPing, we're unable to tell the CPU that we just passed, a location. The speed was too fast, and that's what happens. So yeah, it took a while to get here. It's complicated because I'm not using rigid bodies, so if I'm not using rigid bodies, I'm not using add velocity to move the character. And I already had a parcel of code that I had fetched from the Unity forums, community forums, about using a push on all sides to keep a gravity affected rigid body in place. So that parcel of code was really would have been really helpful for this, but I don't use that. So I'm using quaternions to rotate the character. It's not even based, and it's based on a different gravity per face. So yeah, a little bit complicated, and I'm not that good with quaternions. Not that good. So in here I'm using quaternion set look rotation, something like that. And where's my screen? Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What I wanted to show. That we still have a lot of work to do. That it's kind of a little bit. Oh shit! We're really far from the planet now. We can lower the character a little bit, but that's not supposed to happen. Okay. So, what's gonna be really weird for players is that you know, well, if they've played games like Arcane, well, Diablo 2 with the Arcane Sanctuary, you know, where it's just like an impossible level, you know, it just doesn't happen that way in reality. The Arcane Sanctuary, well, it's gonna be a little bit like that. You're gonna feel that way because, for instance, if we would go the other side there. Okay, so right about here, where there's that hole. Okay, so normally we would go down the hill. I'm trying to rotate the camera. Yeah, if we go down that hill, you know, on that side of the gravity of the cube, we would face a wall here. We would not be able to pass it, so we would have to go up the hill and go here, you know, to pass this wall that we see. Okay, so there's a wall. You can see this wall here. Sorry for the rotation. It's really awful. Okay, so there is that wall, and you would be able to walk on it though, on that side. Okay, you're able to walk on the oops, you're able to walk on the wall that way. You're able to go here and walk on the wall, you know, and you would be able to go down about that way on that face, on that side of the cube, you know, and yeah, at some point down the hill, the gravity would be swapped with the gravity of the top, so you would still be facing that wall, unable to go through that wall. So it's not that bad, you know. It's like an Arcane Sanctuary level where you're like, wow, didn't think that would be possible kind of situation. But if you think about round planet and a big planet, well, how would I go and face this with, you know, adding villages, mines? I don't know exactly how I would, you know, make the user experience of facing a level in such, you know, I would say restrictions in the gravity, because I don't know. It's just gonna be different, you know. And as I go, I'm gonna see. This was a whole experiment, by the way. I didn't even think about. Well, I thought about the gravity, the 6 faces gravity, but I never tried it. I had never really tried it before, and now that I'm trying it, I'm like, not too sure here. Not too sure. I'm kind of used to just one gravity and rigid bodies with one gravity, a core to planet, and that's it. I'm losing ground all the time with the character. And so I think he's done here. I can lower the arm again. There you go. So yeah, so it's something that you know, characters with you know, it could be made into a shooter, yeah, multiplayer shooter around a freaking planet with 6 different gravities. It would be interesting, like an Unreal Engine, Unreal Tournament, 6 gravity bullshit. It's interesting, destructible voxels. But see, it happened. We lost the gravity. Something happened and we completely lost it. So if you get back to the planet, look at the distance now. And I'm swapping sides. Okay. So yeah, so you saw that bug too. So I think that you saw all the 3 bugs here that I have. Okay. We're close enough so we can make contact with the voxels again without using Unity physics. Although there are colliders here, they're not used. Okay, I'm not using them right now. I'm not using colliders. Okay, to do this in reverse kinematics, like this collision with the floor. Okay. So, like for instance, there on that side of the gravity, you know, how exactly would it work if I would fall down? Well, if I would fall down at some point and not really far from here, just barely crossing over, and the gravity would be swapped to the top face gravity, right? And the character would be falling down. And at some point where he would be falling, if I move the character a little bit right here, and when he would be falling down, he would actually be falling down all the way up to changing to that side here. Okay, where he's going to actually be inverted. So he's going to start re-falling down again until he's swapped with which face? Give me a second. No, if he starts falling down from here, he's going to be re-swapped to the top face, approximately a little bit. I don't know. He's going to keep changing. We'd have to test it with a rigid body at some point. Well, we have to, because we're going to use dots at some point. Unity dots, that's the goal. Okay, so he would be falling. He would be falling that way, you know, to the x positive axis, and then he would be falling in the y negative axis, and then he would be falling in the x again until he hits, I would say, the voxels right there or something. So then there would be a swap in the gravity. So there's one thing that I want to add also, is like a character, when I'm reaching the limit, oh, see, lost gravity again, fucked. So I don't know what happened. So when I'm swapping gravity at the extremity, the edge, you know, the parameter here, okay, that the character would be wobbling as if, you know, he's standing on a very thin rope, you know, would be wobbling, but all the way, you know, so the rotation happens, you know, in like 2 or 3 movements, you know, and all the way of those 3 movements, he's wobbling. He would be wobbling to the left and right, or, you know, all sides there, a little bit, you know, not that much, just a little bit to show that, you know, there's a gravity swap, there's 2 forces here, so you're sharing your body with those 2 forces until you breach the other side, where there's only one gravity to fix you. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to change, want to add. And yeah, pretty boring, but you know, with what I did, I don't know if I explained that in my last stream. What I did with what I developed with those foot collision is the ability to fetch the bytes location, also of the voxel level. So because we see the foot targets, you know, being planted right below the character where the nearest byte is, depending on the ray that is shot from the hip joint, you know, down, you know, and because I was able to do that, voxel breaking or voxel destruction is going to be possible. Okay, we're going to be able to re-implement that at some point, because I was able to correctly fetch the bytes location of the voxel level to plant the foot targets. So it's very much similar kind of development in code to be able to fetch specific bytes that we're hitting and breaking those bytes. So I've already got a big portion done there to fetch the bytes. The next would be to break them and apply the changes to the mesh. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys another time. Okay, so just gonna do this. Where's the head targets? Right here. Oops, maybe on that side. If I go on that side and I do that, I could do like a by sign here, and do that, in code also. Move the target up, and then just wave the hand left and right. Quite an easy animation to do, I think. And at some point, we would be able to do that, to also add animations in code. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys another time.